Drake Maye is the best option for the New England Patriots. He is. You picked a quarterback in your top 3 in the first round. You have to start. You have to. And they have nobody. Jacoby Brissett is a competent quarterback. He is not a number 1 quarterback. He's a number 2 on any other roster. You're going to start a number 2 this season when you want to see what you have at the quarterback position. It could take Drake Maye 10 games to figure things out. It doesn't matter. You need to know in the next 2 years, is this the guy that's going to take my franchise to the next level? You had it with Tom Brady for 20 some odd years. You need to see if Drake Maye's the guy. You cannot. And I know everybody's going to say, well, look at Jordan Love. He was a first-round draft. He was a late first-round draft. Look at Aaron Rodgers. He was a first-round. He was a late first-round draft pick. When you draft a quarterback, and everybody's going to say, well, what about Michael Penix? Nobody in their wildest dreams believed that Atlanta this year, after bringing in a guy like Kirk Cousins, they were going to draft a quarterback in the top 10. Nobody. Not even Kirk Cousins believed that was going to happen. He was shocked. Yep. He probably crapped his pants when it happened. He had no idea that Michael Penix was on their radar. Nobody. But the fact is, you have a quarterback in the top 5, you got to start him. You have to. Now, I don't know what type of quarterback Drake Maye is going to be in the NFL. I know he was successful for North Carolina. We've seen a lot of North Carolina quarterbacks come out of the draft and not succeed, a.k.a. Mitchell Trubisky, who was a top 3 pick, failed by the Chicago Bears after trading up for him. They've done a lot of mistakes and made a lot of mistakes over the last couple of years when it comes to quarterback play, including Justin Fields. I think the 2 organizations that have been absolutely rocky when it comes to drafting quarterbacks is Chicago and the Jets.
And the Browns.
It's Chicago and the Jets. I just got to speak the truth here. Top 5 picks in many, many different years, and none of them turned out to be anything. But the fact is, Bill Belichick on the Pat McAfee show coming out and saying that, Drake Maye or any rookie quarterback should not be starting. You would take advice from one of the greatest coaches, if not the greatest coach of all time. My question to a guy like Bill Belichick, why did you bring Tom Brady in so early? That would be my question. Tom Brady, what did it take? 1 year? 1 year, and he was the starting quarterback in the New England Patriots because Drew Bledsoe went down. It was a freak accident, but why did you bring in a rookie quarterback? What, you're smarter than the average bear? You're smarter than everybody else? Is that why? And I know that Bill Belichick was not happy that Jerod Mayo is taking over for his New England Patriots. I believe, even though he drafted Jerod Mayo and he likes Jerod Mayo, he was on his coaching staff. He was his defensive coordinator. He was his linebacker coach when he retired from the NFL. I know Bill Belichick was not happy that the Patriots decided to go within and bring in one of his disciples in Jerod Mayo because he knows Jerod Mayo is going to fail. I know Jerod Mayo is going to fail. I think everybody and their mother knows Jerod Mayo is going to fail. Does Drake Maye? I don't know if I would trust an ex-linebacker to be my coach. I'm sorry. And everybody's going to, well, Bill Belichick was a defensive-minded coach, but he was under Bill Parcells. He was, on the coaching staff for Tom Coughlin and Sean Payton. Great offensive minds, worked with so many great, coaching minds over the years. The fact is, where the quarterback is now these days are a lot more faster when it comes to developing than they were in those days. Training is different. Now, obviously, there's more practicing then, and there was more preseason games, and you would be able to hit during OTAs. You can't do that anymore. It's different, protection for players and all that other stuff. But these guys, year-round, are training. Year-round. Do you think in the 80s and the 90s, you got guys like Joe Montana and Steve Young, after the season is over, they're training in facilities, throwing footballs day in and day out, playing and practicing with the players on their roster, going to, private islands and throw footballs with the players that they are? No, none of them did that. It's different now. It's a year-round experience. These youngsters need to develop faster. They're training. They got their own personal trainers. They got team trainers. They're doing more now than they ever have. So they develop quicker. That's what I think. Now, it depends on the personality, too. It really does. I don't know Drake Maye in a hole in a wall. I see what Tom Brady turned into and how smart he was and how he saw things on the football field that other quarterbacks couldn't see. When you have a player like that, yes, they're gifted. You don't need to really train them or teach them what they see audible at the line of scrimmage. If you watched the dynasty, Tom Brady was such a fast learner. As a matter of fact, Bill Belichick couldn't believe at practices how fast he saw plays and how they broke down as fast as they did. There are not many players like that. Peyton Manning studied it as a kid at the age of 14, 13 years old. If you watch his documentary, he was watching football. He was watching his father play, watching how he called the plays at the line of scrimmage. He learned the game through different coaches and sitting on the sidelines where his father was the lead quarterback, the starting quarterback for the Saints. He studied the game. A lot of these guys are just born with so many gifts, and they don't realize that they need to study the game just as much as any of them if they're going to become the players or the quarterbacks that they looked up to. Aaron Rodgers is just a gifted player. He's gifted. He could throw the ball. He slings the ball sideways, front ways. I mean, when you got guys like Patrick Mahomes, they're just pure gifted athletes. It makes the game slow down for them a lot faster. A lot of these quarterbacks, Mitchell Trubisky was a good quarterback in college. He couldn't develop his skills in the NFL. Trevor Lawrence, say whatever you want. He hasn't developed into the player that everybody thought he was going to. CJ Stroud was unbelievable last year. Let's see if he could do it his second year when everybody's got tape on him. Quarterbacks are a dime a dozen. From every 5 quarterbacks drafted in the first round, one of them become elite quarterbacks. One. If lucky, you have a better chance of finding a quarterback in the later rounds than you do in the first. The way these statistics would show you. Go look at the last 10 years of first-round quarterbacks. Numbers would tell you about 5 of them became elite quarterbacks in the NFL. 5 of them in 10 years became elite quarterbacks. Some of them we don't even know what they are. Jordan Love, time would only tell what Jordan Love is going to be. Last year, he was fantastic in his first year as a starting quarterback after sitting behind Aaron Rodgers for 3. We don't know what these guys are going to transition or become as NFL players. What we do know is the league is what have you done for me lately? That's what it is. And for Drake Maye, he has a chance in the next 2 years to prove that he's competent and he could be a quarterback that you can win with. Or you could be like Daniel Jones, everybody's trying to throw away, or another Jones that they threw away last year.